and get straight to your forecast for the next 72 hours. We're going to take a look at just the general energy, love, career, all that jazz. If you want to see future readings and you're not already subscribed, make sure that you do so. And make sure that you hit the notification bell as well so that you get notified and stuff whenever I go live. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we're going to start with 3 oracle cards. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. What does the next 72 hours have in store for them? Okay. So right off the bat, we have giving and receiving in reverse. We have the heart chakra, and we have moving on. So there could be certain relationships in your life or certain scenarios in your life where you want there to be equality in terms of what you put out, you get back. And if this does talk about relationships, for some of you, you could be tired of being that person that's always giving and pouring out to people, and then they don't necessarily recognize it or may even match your efforts or just appreciate it. You could also be looking at not only that, like in your career, there could be certain things that you've committed yourself to, like a job where the pay doesn't necessarily add up for how much you may come in or you may put in terms of effort when you show up to work. So you could be looking at, like, should I look at other places that are going to appreciate my work ethic, going to pay me what I'm worth? I do see themes of that coming up. I think that also too, matters of the heart is going to be like a big focal point with the heart chakra showing up here. Even for my singles, I think that there's certain things that you're making sense of emotionally, and this time frame could give you a lot of just perspective. With moving on showing up as well, there may have been this process for some of you when it comes to getting over what you have been through and the sadness of the past, or for some of you, the guilt of the past or regrets of the past. But this time frame and beyond, I think that you guys are realizing that all you can really do is just work with what you have at this moment and make the best out of it. Now, let's go deeper. What does the general energy look like for my Cancers for the next 72 hours? So we have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands talks about a choice and path, and also understanding that whatever you decide to do, which action you decide to take, is going to lay out a totally different path for you. So an example of this could be like you have a choice between staying at your current job or leaving. Either choice you decide to make, you know that it's going to lay out a whole new set of, other opportunities or challenges. Same thing in terms of like love. You could be at a crossroads. Should I stay in my current connection or separate? Should I stay single or give my love life a chance, or start to, pay more close attention to my love life as a whole? I think that you guys are also just at a point of seeking more for yourself, seeking more out of life, more understanding. Okay, and you could be making some decisions or choices that leans into you shaping basically what you want your future to look like. Now, with career and finance, I have the Eight of Pentacles. So huge focus on work. For my Cancers who are searching for work, you could get an interview and actually get the job. With a current job that you may have, you may be assessing, okay, do I still want to work here? Especially if you've accumulated a lot of experience or expertise in whatever you do, that you know that you could get paid more elsewhere. For others of you, you could be feeling like you have skills in other departments that if you did actually put them to work, like maybe you're really skilled at doing hair, or you're really skilled at painting, or being a tarot reader, you may want to actually capitalize on those skills too to make some extra money. Okay. Now, when it comes to love, what does the energy look like for my Cancers with love? I have the Queen of Cups, or not Queen, actually the King of Cups. Clarifying it, I have the Six of Swords. So for my single Cancers, you could be just taking care of yourself emotionally, like doing things centered around self-care. There could be other areas of your life that's also really demanding emotionally. For my Cancers who are single but also kind of dating, you could be really interested in someone. It's just you're waiting for this person to show you how they genuinely feel, especially if they keep it really cool, copacetic. They don't really express themselves that often. They may, shut down or withdraw. This could even be somebody who's like long distance. You don't live close to them, or you guys have been through some things and they've been a lot more like hesitant to express themselves and to be maybe emotionally available to some degree. So it's this question of like, okay, are we moving forward? What are we doing here? Where do we stand emotionally? There will be a chance for you guys to express yourself to this person at some point. It could be within this time frame or a little bit further out than this time frame, but someone wants to either get something off their chest so they could mentally be at peace, or this could talk about you. But there definitely is like a brewing conversation that definitely needs to be had. Now, what is the advice for my Cancers they need to hear for this time frame? Okay, so the advice I have with the King of Swords, stay level-headed. Make sure you're making decisions from a grounded perspective. Don't just lean on how you feel. Compare it against logic. What makes sense? Especially with like finances or practical stuff, you want to be mindful of just leaning into the, oh, I'm tired of my job or I'm tired of this, without having like a plan that, you can back behind your decision. Also, communicating effectively, saying what you mean and meaning what you say. Okay. Also, I would stay away from like maybe texting certain issues or grievances you may have. I would like straight up have either a phone conversation or in-person conversation so that certain words don't get misconstrued. Yeah. And also just taking care of your mental health as a whole. Be mindful of the quality of thoughts that you pay attention to. They'll arise, certain thoughts come up. Just don't feed into the ones that are doubtful. Now, when it comes to the challenge to overcome during this time frame, I do have the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords is the perception of losing something, or it's the disappointment that we could mentally have because our brain has, had a laid out idea of how things were going to go with something, and maybe it didn't plan out exactly in the timing we expected or the way that we thought it would. So this could be past tense stuff where it's like, I really did want this relationship to work out, and because I've been a bit disappointed about that, I've been having a really hard time moving forward when it comes to dating. Or you could be dating somebody where they struggle with this, where they've been hurt and they're still processing the fact that those expectations didn't come to be, and it could be affecting the way that they kind of move. This could also be just more so hurt in regards to things that you expected to be, completed or done by a certain time. And the challenge here is to be mindful how this could steal your present opportunities from you if you feed into this. Because the thing with life is we'll always arrive when we're supposed to and when we're ready, especially capacity wise, emotionally, mentally, physically. We arrive to where we need to be financially, in our love lives, all that stuff. And just because we may have like a view of how things are supposed to go, that doesn't mean that that's the end all be all. There's a greater plan that's always in works for us that we can't really see. We can just only kind of anticipate and maybe nudge it in ways where we're very, intentional about what we put our energy into. But the challenge here is to not feed into this narrative that you've missed your opportunity or that everything is going to be disappointing from here on out because you've experienced disappointment past tense. That doesn't really give you a fair shot, and you just got to be mindful of that. And also, with someone else struggling with this journey, give them the space to grow out of their disappointment and not assuming the responsibility to, change their views. Now, going into the outcome card for you, The card we have the Queen of Cups. So the end of this time frame, there's going to be a huge focal point on you. There could be a lot of emotions that are coming up during this time frame as well for you to deal with. Positive ones, maybe sad ones, but it's for you to kind of address, like, genuinely, where am I at emotionally with this individual or with this job or with this thing. With the Queen of Cups as well, again, I keep getting this like opportunity to express yourself. There may be a conversation that happens that gets really emotional by the end of this time frame. Okay, you could also really get an understanding of how someone genuinely feels about you while you may have felt like you were in the dark. But this is what I see. I hope I did give you some insight in regards to basically what's going to be happening for the next 72 hours. If you enjoyed, definitely thumbs up the video, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye, Cancers.